is not one of the most popular Genshin tracks. Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and we all know that Genshin Impact music rules, right? And we all know what the main cool songs are. What I asked you guys though is, what are some of the songs that are maybe underrated? Because, you know, in a soundtrack this vast, there's bound to be some tracks, amazing, incredible tracks that people just miss, like some hidden gems that people just didn't pay attention to. And you guys told me one of those is Across Dimming Asterisms. So, let's go! Oh. Oh, okay, I get it. This is... Yeah, this is Middle Eastern. That makes sense. Oh, this is amazing, man. Oh my god, this sounds so cool. Okay, so you guys told me, if I remember correctly, you guys told me this is a combat track, right? It is very Middle Eastern, and that makes sense because the image that I'm looking at here looks like some sort of pyramid, and I know in Genshin Impact they have different regions in the game that kind of mimic real world regions, so I guess this is the Middle Eastern region in the game. And man, this is so cool. I've been waiting for a while to tackle a Middle Eastern song here in the channel, because they are clearly using something very cool that I had to study once for a game, because I was composing music for a Middle Eastern themed game, and I had to study something called makam. And I'm gonna show you what makam means. Check this out. These notes that he's doing here. It's coming. He's doing it in the oud, which is a stringed instrument. So he did this. Something like this. And then this particular part here. So I'm gonna explain what makam is first. Makam is basically the system of music theory. It's a system of scales from the Middle Eastern region, and Middle Eastern music, differing from Western music, it's not so much reliant on chords. In fact, there's very little harmony at all in Middle Eastern music. It's a very melodic, melody-based system of music theory. And makam, a makam is a scale, you know, and for those that don't know, a scale is a sequence of notes. Like, you know this one, right? Right? Everybody knows this one. This is the major scale. It's just a sequence of notes. And when a musician says that he is making a song or playing a song in a certain scale, it means that this is the sequence, this is the group of notes that he is working with. This is the sequence, the group of notes that he's allowed to use, right? This is a scale. So what happens with Middle Eastern music, with Arab makam, is that their music isn't almost entirely based just on scales. They don't, like in Western music, we take a scale like this and we put a bunch of these notes together to make chords. Middle Eastern guys don't do so much of that. They keep the scale as a melody. They play one note at a time and make melodies out of it. And there's various many makam to choose from, and depending on which makam, each scale you choose, the music feels a different way. And what I'm sensing here in this song is that these guys really did their homework and studied makam, because what I feel like happens in a lot of times when musicians try to emulate Middle Eastern music is that they try to understand Middle Eastern music through the optics of Western music. So notes like these, it sounds so authentically Middle Eastern, right? So Western musicians will try to place these notes on a context of Western music, and they'll try to understand, wait, what Western key is this? What Western scale is he doing here? When in fact, it doesn't fit at all. This part, this doesn't fit anywhere in Western music. There's no Western scale that sounds like this. You end up with this kind of scale here, with this kind of makam. There's nothing like this in Western music, so if you want to make authentic Middle Eastern music like this, you have to use makam. This is a makam. There's nothing in Western music like this. And by the way, like I said, he's doing this makam, this melody, with this instrument. This is, I think, this is the oud, which is an ancient stringed instrument, which some people say is actually the precursor to the modern guitar. Listen how there's very little harmony. Oh, amazing. Dude. There's some synth as well. Can you hear it? Like the notes that are holding these bass notes. There's some synth, like electronics, keyboard sounds in this. It's really cool. I feel like they do that a lot in Genshin music. They mix these ethnic aspects of music with synth and electronic sounds. It sounds very cool. Can you hear the electronic sounds? Very cool. Very authentic. Man, this is such a throwback to me, for me, from when I was composing this kind of stuff. The rhythm is very interesting here as well. Oh, I didn't even notice, but for the whole track, they have been using a 5-beat measure, which is kind of uncommon for us. I feel like it's a bit more common for Middle Eastern music to use kind of odd time signatures, like 5-beat measures or 9-beat measures or 7-beat measures. This again makes this feel even more authentic, but also odd time signatures like this are great for combat tracks. I remember I think it was the normal battle theme from Final Fantasy 16. They used that 5-beat measure in there as well. They use it a lot on all sorts of combat tracks because it's good. It feels unpredictable. It's more unpredictable than the kind of time signatures we're used to, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very predictable. You add a 5-beat measure there, and suddenly it feels unpredictable. And if you don't know what a time signature is, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just means that the music repeats, like it's the number of beats that the music is based on. It's the pattern that keeps repeating. Is a 5-beat pattern. And this melody seems to be the main melody. Such a good melody, man. And this instrument on the right speaker, man. What is this? This instrument on the right speaker, can you hear it? To me, this kind of sounds like an erhu, which is a Chinese instrument. Am I forgetting a Middle Eastern instrument here? It's possible that there is a Middle Eastern like version of a violin, which is kind of what like the erhu is, even though of course the erhu is more ancient. But this to me sounds like a Chinese instrument. Maybe, like I said, it's actually a Middle Eastern counterpart. But then again, I know also that Genshin Impact is capable of mixing different cultural influences together to create a unique feel, and that's something that other fantasy developers do as well. Monster Hunter is super good at doing that. Instead of doing like a legitimate, authentic reproduction, like faithful reproduction of a certain culture's sound, they insert some stuff that doesn't belong in there just for the sake of making it sound unique and more fantasy-like. So maybe that's what they're doing here. It could be either like an actual authentic Middle Eastern counterpart of, you know, some sort of violin, but they could also be just mixing kind of random stuff to make it sound more like fantasy, like something that doesn't exist in real life. Listen, on the right speaker. Sounds like an erhu to me. If you guys know what this is, let me know. Am I hearing? They're guitars. Amazing, there's guitars now. This is awesome. Oh, and the full orchestra now. Amazing, man. Okay, so now at the end of the track, remember I just told you guys that they like to mix different cultural influences together, and this is something that Western composers do a lot when they're making like westernized versions of Middle Eastern music. So what he's doing here is he's trying to contextualize this Arab maqam through the optics of Western music. So he's modifying the maqam slightly. You know, remember maqam are scales, sequences of notes. He's modifying the Arab notes a little bit to make it fit into something that works better with chords. Remember, our Western music likes to use chords a lot, so it ends up. Can you feel in this part how the music starts feeling when he introduces the orchestra and the chords? It starts feeling a little bit more kind of like Hollywood. That's the Western kind of functional harmony effect of it. It's coming. Check this out. Amazing. Isn't there like a Hollywood kind of feel to it? It's because he adapted the Arab maqam to a sort of major Mixolydian. Mixolydian is just a Greek name. You don't need to know that. It's just a fancy name for the scale. In case you don't know, our Western music is largely based on Greek music. So he's just adapting. Man, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm talking about Greek stuff now. He's adapting the Arab stuff slightly to fit into the Greek stuff. That's why it sounds more Hollywoodian and more Western. Man, this is insane. Let's listen to this part again. Man, this part rules. And the electric guitars, man. How is this not one of the most popular Genshin tracks? Okay, what's next? Oh! The drums! And how there's choirs. And the westernized harmony continues. Amazing. Man, this... Genshin music, I love how they feel so free to just put whatever they want in there. They put electric guitars, like rock heavy metal sounding guitars. Then all of a sudden they introduce like a dance beat to it. This rules. And you guys tell me that this is a regular battle theme? The full orchestra now. Okay. Okay. Jesus Christ, that's a regular battle theme.